I like this view. This is nice. Especially, it's going to look really nice when we're looking across at high rises. So, but welcome back. I did, in between the last episode and this episode, I let the game run for a while. So we're at 21% researched. I was going to let it run a little bit longer, but then my thinking was by the time it gets to 100% researched, the city may look so different based upon the buildings. So I went ahead and started recording. Really, the only other than letting it run, I did extend this road just to get a couple of more industries going. And I zoned that as well, just to get some more. Let's go ahead and make this medium. See if we can get there. Just see if we can maximize get the maximum. I mean, it takes up a lot of space, but unlike other cities, and maybe, well, yeah, it is starting to get better. Okay. It's getting there. Our tourist attraction is still not making a profit. "41 visitors out of a possible 175. So let's go ahead. We will go with medium speed while we just check. It's just a habit whenever I log into my game, my city. Just to check. Just a good way of staying on top of things. Have to keep an eye on that. Okay, good. That's coming down. I think it was last episode. It was 50 minutes. Low land value right next to these factories. So we could put one more park. We could do a combination of soccer field and baseball field. Or a skate park. Whew. Takes up a lot of space. Kind of answered that. Large skate park. Is that going to hinder any factories? seems bigger than the soccer field. Let's stick with medium skate park. There we go. Let's see here. So let's go here. Approval rating is going up. Tax income looks good. That looks good. Let's go back. I want to see the... Okay, that looks good. So the city's doing well. I'm happy about the way I laid out the college. The university. 22% research. I don't know if we'll get all of the research complete in this episode. It may be next episode, or maybe even the episode after that. We'll see. If I keep it going at medium pace, maybe. Is the city ready to grow? It could. And this is really the time to really make sure that this is where I want my high rises, and I think I do. I just think that's almost a natural choice to make that the area of high rises. I'm going to stick with my original thought of this and this for high rise. Just keeping in mind, there's only one way in. From a traffic standpoint. And it may not be that big of a... because it's not that big of an area. So it may not have that big of an impact from a traffic standpoint. A little bit of lag. The image and the music just kind of stuttered there for a minute. I am liking this. I think the 3 levels of elevation just lends itself to the city looking pretty cool. And I am still thinking that eventually when we get here, part of me thinks this is going to be a very, very low density area, but we'll see. Every time I say that, I look up and I've got high rises, so. I think I said it in the last episode. The graphics still hold up well for a game that's 8, 9 years old. That's cool. You can see Pacific Shores back there. So that was our first city. And you can see the processor factories there. Slightly less dense area there, and then my high rises there. And my new roundabout and industry there. That's cool. And then over here, my gambling area with the gambling back there. You can just make out the expo center, the sci-fi casino, and a couple of towers, and then the expressway leading to tourist and residential there, and industry there. I like that. That's cool. Let's see what. Now this can be unreliable, but let's just get an idea. So workers. So people are coming from Pacific Shores here to work, but I just, sometimes that can be, it's fun to watch or to look at, but this can be bus connection, train connection. I don't rely on that. But once again, I don't have my cities. It seems like the services, police and whatnot, that's reliable. But a lot of the others are not that reliable. It's kind of a cool little commercial area here. I like this. I do like that. Now, I don't like that sharp curve. Part of me wants to address that. I don't have really any major issues with that, but just for some reason, I cannot tell you why. So, we may lose a building or two. We have to remember that pond is there. Let's see if I can curve it. Ooh, that's, oh. Will I be happy with that? I think I'd be happier with that than I was the way it was, but even still, that's still kind of. I need to remember to put that pond back. Let's see what this looks like. That's better. And pond, nature, is this guy right here. There. And let's make this all commercial. Oop, not that. But let's make all of this commercial. Okay. The way that angle was, it was from the very first episode that I built this city. But that's better. We'll get some commercial buildings. I'm still debating on researching the great work. If I do the great work, it will simply be to demonstrate how it's done. But it's really not. You have to make sure you've got plenty of money. For example, because it may be a while before we do it. So the great work, first of all, you have to do research for the great work, which takes a while. Then you have to basically start the process of getting permits. So that's what that 500,000 is. I believe so. If I remember correctly. Or there may be even more. I know you have to get permits, and then you have to send plastic alloy and processors. And typically what I do is one of my cities, so plastic alloy and processors. So for example, if this was the city for it, I would have had, and a lot of times I build a city specifically to build the great work, and then I develop the city. But I would have multiple trade depots, import plastic, and have the plastic sent to the great work, number one. And then once that's accomplished, import alloy, have all the alloys sent to the great work. So for example, I would have multiple depots with plastic plastic storage, and just import plastic and send it to the great work. And then once that was full, I would demolish the plastic lots and then put down alloy and just import alloy, send it off. And then after that, I would either have my processor city, instead of sending the processors to be sold, I would be producing the processors to send to my great work. Once the great work has the items that it needs, then it starts to construct. And then after it constructs, depending upon the great work, it needs employees. So some of your employees, so you have to have some unemployment for the employees to go over there. The great work, once it gets built, tends to be kind of on autopilot. The airport, if the airport does not get enough workers, then you will get a notification that the airport has shut down. So nothing's happening. The airport also brings in criminals. I think that mechanic of, so I've never not had solar power come into the city. That works. The airport, you will get a notification that the airport has shut down. and you also get crime. I'm trying to remember the Space Center. I think the Space Center also will shut down, and then also the arcology. And we could build the arcology now. We don't have to do research. So maybe that's what we'll do is build an arcology. It should bring in more individuals, but I just find that these three great works are unreliable. And I think that's the reason why I don't do the great works that often. Or if I do, I'm doing the solar power. I'm trying to think if I've ever had the solar power not be. I'm always getting solar power. I'm trying to think if I've ever had to suddenly plop down a power source in the city once I get solar power, and I cannot. And I would think that if I've run into issues, I would remember it. I cannot think of an indicate of a time when that didn't work, because the it's just. And I don't even think it takes that many employees. Where once again, the airport can shut down because it doesn't have enough employees, and you get some crime. The Space Center is supposed to help with tourism, and it doesn't. It's very similar to, other than the Great Works solar farm. I think the Great Works are similar to the issues that I run into buying power, water, and sewage treatment from other cities. For some reason, it just is not as reliable as it should be. And I'm not a programmer, but I just kind of think that I'm not sure that should have been an easy programming fix. For example, Pacific Shores should be just a powerhouse. I should have multiple um, power stations, multiple water treatment, multiple sewage, all so that this city and this city can purchase, as if instead of treating these as separate cities, these are suburbs. That's my main city. It's making the most money. And then Hilltop and La Villa are suburban, but they have to have their own. We're getting a high rise. They have to have their own. Every city. If I end up doing 16 cities in this region, they will all have their own power, water, sewage, garbage. As the cities are getting started, the garbage, fire, health, and police are reliable. They will come, and we've got, you can see we've got. Let's pause so we can catch up with it. So you can see there are buses. There are buses that are coming from. There are buses coming from other cities. So there are some things that the game will just continually, as long as I play this particular city, I will have buses from the other city. As long as I play it, I will have police coverage from the other city if needed, health, and fire. But maybe it's something that I'm doing, but I don't think so. I've read lots of comments on other sites, tutorials, FAQs, and there's just some mechanics that don't quite work. And that's one of the reasons why I don't do the multiplayer as well. That's why I do solo. But that still is not enough to really detract. Um, we're talking about playing this game for 8, 9 years, and I may not play it for a month or 2 months or 3 months, but I always end up back here playing it. One of these cities, I am going to put a major tower. They are really, they take up space, and I mean, they are tall. But I mean, I guess that makes sense since we're talking about some of the tallest buildings in the and I need sunlight. Now this is divided into 3 sections, and there's a park here. Can't see it because it's dark. That one of the tall skyscrapers would look pretty cool there. So it's not out of the realm. Let's see here, while we wait for the sun to come up, I do kind of want to balance out. I want to put something there. The first inclination is to go to reliable. I think I've got this. I know I've got this in my tourist city. It may even be in Pacific Shores. Some of these just take up so much space. Look at that. That's another tower. That would compete with the tower that I already have. Let's just kind of get an idea. This is going to be really big. Yeah, that's right. That's a lot of space. I already know that's big. That fits, but I'd lose so much. And I know this is supposed to be leaning. Wow, look at that. That's massive. That's big. I don't have enough high wealth tourists for that. I always put down this windmill, always. I'm not doing that. It would have to be a medium or low attraction. That's not bad. Too many towers. Yeah, we may just leave it as is. This is where I would like just a few more landmarks. Just a few more. And even though this is in all of my other cities, But then again, once I started to balance, so let's make this road here the road that looks directly at the university. Let's make it medium. And as some of these buildings convert up, maybe that'll give me the balance that I'm looking for. Let's see what this looks like when it gets built. Oh, nice. We're at 37%. Let's see. We'll see. That might level things out. I could also put a park down. What's my wealth level up here? Do we want some tennis courts? Is that what our college students are going to do? Play tennis? Why is that red? Because it's abandoned. Could put a park there. Right next to this. Well, can't do it right now. Something's on fire. Let's just take a look and see. Where's that large skateboard park? That's in the other city. Ooh, that takes up a lot of space. That skateboard park is... There's a volleyball court. And basketball court. How much is that? That is, oh, $80. I like that. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. What's going on? Slow down. And a lot of that might just be because I'm going so... I've sped up time. Got 4 homeless people. I know that homelessness... I just hate homelessness in my cities. And I know that's part of it, but I hate it. Put a fire truck here. Let's go there. Nope, let's click that. So there are my homeless. So can they not get to any work? they cannot get, they're so close to commercial. Why can they not find jobs? Well, I need it to rectify itself. I've got jobs, so as long as the homeless problem doesn't get out of control, I've got 5, and it seems to be concentrated here, and I think some of this is due to the land value being so close to. So the solution so right about here, let's go. Wait, let's. And let's do commercial. So now instead of residents living there, we've got commercial, which is going to help. Because I really don't want a lot of homelessness in the city. Homeless. Homeless. I think I read somewhere, because I had a city once that was just, the homeless problem was so outrageous. Bus. Let's put down some more buses. We were 30-something minutes. How did we get to a 65-minute wait? That's not very expensive, so I just, okay. The pier, that suspension shifted, but not, it's still okay. I just don't want it to be out of balance, because I won't want to, there's no way I'll be able to look at this city with that out of balance like that. Oh, tower. Okay, maybe that was just kind of a blip. Gotta keep an eye on it. %38 on my research. I've got a lot of clean industry. You're gonna get some workers. It'll be okay. A lot of clean industry, which cuts down on my pollution. I think this whole street is commercial. Yeah. When the sun comes up, I think this will be more balanced. That may never make money. That may never be profitable. But it looks nice. And it's not like it's a major drain on the city's finances. All right, sun should be coming up soon. It's not a big thing, but I do miss. So when I would play SimCity 3000, and when you would be zoomed out like this, there would be thunder clouds, thunderstorms rolling over. And I missed the news ticker. If you're not familiar with SimCity 3000, I'm trying to remember if it was at the bottom of the screen or the top. I'm almost certain it was at the bottom of the screen. It was just a constant news feed. And you could get some clues by reading it, because it would let you know how things were going. There were clues that you could pick up. Looking better. I don't see how the bus service went from 50 something minutes down to 30 minutes up to 65 minutes. I've got buses everywhere. I do have a couple of areas where it doesn't look like there's bus coverage. Bus stops, I should say. I wonder if that's one of the reasons. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to divide this into two. So I'm going to save. So this episode and the next episode may be split into two episodes, but really I'm really just going to be sitting here, but I do want to break it up instead of instead of losing track of time and ending up with a 2 hour, 3 hour. Yeah, we'll break it up. So as always, I thank you, and we will see you next time, which will really, for me, will be just long enough for me to get a snack. Get a snack and continue with the game. So we'll see you next time.